Hi, welcome to FilmSauce. I'm FilmSauce, and in this Saucy video we're looking at War for the Planet of the Apes, released in 2017. War for the Planet of the Apes stuck with the same director of the previous film, Matt Reeves, who also took the reins in writing the film, which is about our ape friends from the previous films, well, going to war. I guess you really didn't need me to make a short synopsis. But throughout this film I'll also reward or negate source points, and at the end of the video I'll tally those points up to see how saucy this movie really is. But now, grab a banana and relax to FilmSauce of the War for the Planet of the Apes. The movie starts off with a quick 2-sentence recap of the previous two movies. For the people who skipped the other two and thought, yeah, I'll go to the cinemas with my friends to watch a film I don't have context for, so I'll just keep asking the person next to me to fill me in on what's happening. Sorry, just venting for past trauma. Anyway, the only new stuff said here is that a war against the US Army remnants and the apes has been going on for 2 years. Oh hey, the US Army remnants, I was just talking about you. But these boys in camo collabing with some traitorous apes blow up and murder these apes. This all-out war scene goes on for a couple minutes until some more apes pop up and absolutely slaughter the troops. But who cares about that, because now Caesar is here confronting the prisoners of war, including this gorilla called Donkey from before, who gives us audience members the reason why there are apes working for humans, and that's because these apes are Cobra loyalists who, instead of taking punishment from Caesar, work to kill their own kind. But now Caesar sends the humans off to the big bad guy, the Colonel, to tell them apes don't want war, and yeah, he wants peace. That's pretty cool. But the traitorous gorilla, Donkey, escaped this other gorilla, Winter, so not cool. The apes now head home when Blue Eyes and Rocket pop up, claiming to have found something. That something isn't told to us straight away, because we have to see this love plot between Blue Eyes and the new ape Lake, which I'm sure will have a lot of screen time. But now we finally get to the something, which is going to a new home in the desert. But hey, who cares about the plan? It's nap time, which is interrupted by Sam Fisher and his clones invading the apes' home, where they are slowly picked off one by one. But Rocket hears that the Colonel's here, so when Caesar enters his little room, he finds the Colonel, played by the guy from the hit TV series The Freak Brothers, escaping, and the dead bodies of Cornelia and Blue Eyes. So, yeah, not cool, bro. Caesar is in mourning after the attack with his son Cornelius. So hey, at least you still have a son who he gives away to Lake immediately. And all the apes start moving to the desert to get away from the war. But Caesar splits paths, going after the Colonel alone. Oh, never mind. The boys Maurice, Rocket, and Luca are coming along, much to the unliking of Caesar. The boys now find a man who is immediately murdered, and a little girl who cannot speak for some reason, but Maurice adopts her. But after that 5-minute adventure, the boys find the army base, where they confront Winter, who betrayed them off screen when the Colonel attacked. But it was also revealed that Winter is the one who told the Colonel where the ape's base was. So yeah, here's the reason Cornelia and Blue Eyes are dead. So, that's not cool, bro. But humans are around the corner, so the boys jump on Winter to make sure he doesn't alert them, which kills him, because he can't breathe. After that exchange, the boys are chilling by the fire, when Caesar has a vision of our boy Cobra, who mocks Caesar. But now it's morning and the US Army is on the move, so the boys must track them down, all the way up north into the snow, where they find some troopers' bodies dropped off by the side of the road, shot by their fellow troops. But one survived, although he cannot speak, just like the girl Maurice adopted. Talking about that girl, she is now chilling when some guy in a coat sneaks up, looting the horse pouches. But Luca spots the man who gallops away and sees his horse, starting off a horse chase which ends with the boys capturing the man, who isn't a man at all. It's Bad Ape, the man from the now dead meme.
Oh no! Oh no!
But played by Steve Zahn, Greg Heffley's dad, who gives us his backstory of being a zoo ape, but more importantly, he tells the boys where the Colonel is housed, but he refuses to lead the boys there until after he sees his sob story about, his wife and child dying. He then agrees to take them. The boys successfully reach the base where Caesar and Luca scope it out, but they are attacked by humans and Luca is wounded. Shortly after, passing away, surrounded by the boys. And fuck the ape movies, man. Always killing off the gorillas. By memory for Luca and my love for the ape boys, I reward 1 source point for Luca, Maurice, and Rocket. And chuck Bad Ape in there for good measure. Caesar, seeing it as a mistake to bring his ape bros to the fight, walks to the base alone and finds that his apes, who have been walking to the desert, have all been captured on the way to the, new home. And Caesar is knocked down by Donkey. Caesar now wakes up in attendance of the Colonel, who ain't here to sell no fried chicken. But he does apologize for killing Cornelia and Blue Eyes, so that makes it all better. But being in prison doesn't really make Caesar feel great. In the morning, after some screaming by the troops, the Colonel plays the American anthem as the apes are treated as slaves in labor camps. Ah, the American dream. Donkey Kong here is busy lashing an ape when Caesar yells him to leave him alone, which gets the apes excited, but Caesar is dragged up to the Colonel, who's less excited, where Caesar is given some lashings and demanded to tell the apes to get back to work. But Caesar asks for food and water for the apes, which the Colonel, not wanting to give away his precious popcorn, chicken and Pepsi, decides no, and he shoots a random ape and threatens to shoot Caesar. But Lake gets everyone back to work, saving the old ape's life. Remember the boys though? As they are scoping out the base, planning to free the slaves, without an Emancipation Proclamation. Caesar is once again in the Colonel's office, where he figures out the Colonel and his forces are preparing for another war, against another army. Oh, and he voices his concern over how the apes one day will replace humans at the top, which is proved by the fact that the virus from the first movie has evolved to make humans unable to speak and more primitive, like the little girl and the dead guy on the side of the road. I like this virus evolving plot. Reminds me of something. So, +1 source point. In recent news, it seems our boys have found a way underground to the base to save all apes. But under Bad Ape's watch, the little girl played by Amaya Miller, whose birthday was recently, so happy birthday to you, just walks into the base, hands Caesar a teddy, food and water, so good job Maurice for adopting this little kid. But the girl is going to be captured, so Rocket turns himself in and beats up Donkey for the little girl to escape, so W Rocket. Now in the morning, all apes get to work, preparing to escape. Oh, and the Colonel finds the teddy the little girl dropped off, but I'm sure this scene doesn't matter. But hey, Maurice and little girl are bonding when Maurice finally talks. Gives the little girl a name, Nova. But now, Maurice and Bad Ape are figuring out measurements when the meme happens.
Oh no! Oh no!
Haha, it's dead. But anyway, Bad Ape successfully digs a hole to the ape prison, but the pipeline for escaping is flooding, so the apes will have to get the children out above ground. And now we cut to a trooper getting shit thrown at him, so he goes in the prison alone, where more shit is flung at him by our boy, Rocket, who has more shit in hand, but the shit ain't needed, as Maurice drags him below and hands the apes the guard's keys, who frees Caesar and the little baby apes. So now all the apes are able to escape, but Caesar, before leaving, wants to get his revenge on the Colonel for getting the wicked wings out of the Zinger box. But that will be a lot harder, with the other army mentioned before now attacking. Never mind, it won't be much harder, as Caesar just climbs up to the Colonel's quarters and finds him unable to speak. Probably because he had one of those giant feast packs and it got lodged in his throat. Or more likely, he got the virus from the little girl's teddy. I like the Colonel though, so +2 source points to him, as he shot. So goodbye Colonel. Yeah, good chicken. The war is continuing on, but for some reason, instead of firing the enemy army, the soldiers just waste ammo on the apes, which clearly deeply affects Donkey, who now watches Caesar fail at throwing a grenade to an oil tank. Probably failed because the arrow shot into his side, but just as Caesar's about to be finished off by the soldier is blown up by Donkey, who was immediately shot afterwards, so rest in peace Donkey, you were pretty chill. Sometimes. But now the whole base explodes, with Caesar barely escaping. But the apes cannot relax for too long, as an avalanche comes down, which all the apes escape. So now the apes can surely relax, as they now travel to where Blue Eyes dreamt of going, the desert. The apes finally reach their new home, where Caesar and Maurice can sit down and chill. Never mind, Caesar from the arrow shot is bleeding out. And just as he takes one last look at his ape empire, he sheds a tear and passes away, with poor old Maurice crying. Don't make the sweet orangutan sad, that makes me sad. And that is how the Planet of the Apes trilogy ends, with our great Caesar dying, so very sad. But Caesar, he has been an amazing character for 3 movies, and well, obviously he deserves source points, so I'm going to give him 3 source points. What a cool guy. Anyway, that was FilmSauce of the War for the Planet of the Apes. A film that ends in my sadness. Unlike the source points. Always happy with those. Mostly. Anyway, War gained a total of 6 source points, with no negations, so good job Ape Movie, not a single good job Ape Movies, not a single negation. But that is now the ending of FilmSauce of the Planet of the Apes series. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and maybe I'll see you again. Goodbye.